Okay, it is 2 o'clock, so I will get started with Jane's introduction. So, my name is Sadie May. I'm one of the wellness coordinators for Healthy Lifestyles, and we have Jayne Hansen, who is one of our health educators, with us today to talk about mindfulness. And before I introduce her, I want to remind all of you that you can earn your points by signing in, and you can do that by going to the chat box, and there'll be a link to sign in, and that way you can get your points. But a little bit about Jayne. She's been working with Healthy Lifestyles for 2.5 years. She loves connecting with Salt Lake County employees and learning from her collaborative team. And just this spring, Jayne graduated from University of Utah with her bachelor's in health promotion and education. And in Jane's free time, she enjoys playing with her new puppy, Mando, hiking with her husband, and baking some bread. So please be collaborative with Jayne today. I know she's going to ask a lot of questions for you to reply in the chat box. But Jayne, I'll leave it up to you. We can get started.
Thank you so much, Sadie. Like Sadie said, my name is Jayne, and many of you who have participated in Mindful Mondays are kind of already familiar with me and my voice. Um, but I'm thrilled to do this workshop with you today. I can't see the chat box, so Sadie's going to be our narrator just throughout the presentation. So please, please, please use the chat box as much as possible because we have some questions coming your way. So let's just go ahead and get started here. So what is mindfulness? I'm going to throw that out to you guys. What does being mindful mean to you? So just answer if you just take a few seconds to answer that question in the chat box.
We have somebody who said being focused and present in the moment.
I love it. You're exactly right. Exactly right. So mindfulness is maintaining a moment by moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and surrounding environment in an accepting way. So it's a mental state achieved by focusing on the present and living in the now. So exactly what you said. So I love this picture. I think it kind of depicts the difference of having a full mind, so being mindful or being mindful. And I think we can definitely relate to the human in this picture where we are thinking about, the bills we have to pay or the responsibilities that we have, the laundry that we have to do. Whereas in the dog is just really focusing on the present and living in the now. Um, so like my bio says, I recently got a new puppy and I have never had a dog before. So this has been a lot of fun learning and teaching him, but he's definitely teaching me. So when I take him for walks in the morning, I typically am thinking of everything I need to get done during the workday. But he really is just like this picture. He's looking at the trees, or maybe he's grass or grabbing a stick to put in his mouth. But I've noticed that when I'm more mindful and more attentive to his needs, he excels better and I end up enjoying the walk much more than I thought I would. So it's about soaking it all in, living in the present, and focusing on the now. And when the Healthy Lifestyles team was kind of talking about mindfulness, we were talking about how much easier it was to be mindful when we were kids. And why do you think that is? Why do you think it was easier for us to be mindful when we were kids?
No stress, somebody wrote.
Totally.
Jodine said fewer worries. Amy said less stress, less responsibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. You're totally right. It was almost like time was frozen. I don't know if that's how you feel, but for me, I feel that way. And it's almost rejuvenating when you spend time with someone who lives in the moment and is focused in the now. It your cares or your troubles or your those stresses, they almost don't exist because you're focusing on the present. And I love that. I love your comments. Thank you for participating. So this whole presentation is just, it's going to focus on how we can develop that quality of mindfulness. And in this next slide, we're going to watch a video, and it's mindfulness is a superpower. So let me get it started. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah, we can hear it.
You may have heard this word mindfulness. It's become something of a buzz phrase of late. I'm going to give you one simple, serviceable definition, which is this. Mindfulness is the ability to know what's happening in your head at any given moment without getting carried away. Imagine how useful this could be. Just as an example, if you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off in traffic, how do you normally react? I think most of us, we normally react by having a thought, which is, I'm pissed. And then what happens next? You immediately, habitually, reflexively inhabit that thought. You actually become pissed. There's no buffer between the stimulus and your reaction. With just a little bit of mindfulness, in that same situation, you might notice my chest is buzzing, my ears are turning red, I'm having a starburst of self-righteous thoughts, I'm getting angry. But you don't necessarily have to act on it and chase that person down the road, screaming at them with your kids in the back of the car thinking you've gone nuts. Now, you might be thinking, don't I need to get angry sometimes? Aren't I justified? I would say yes, but probably not as much as you think. The proposition here is not that you should be rendered by mindfulness into some lifeless, non-judgmental blob. The proposition is that you should learn how to respond wisely to things that happen to you, rather than just reacting blindly. And that, my friends, is a superpower. How do you get it? The way to get it is through meditation. I believe that meditation and mindfulness are the next big public health revolution. In the 1940s, if you told somebody you were going running, they would have said, who's chasing you? But then what happened next? The scientists swooped in, they showed that physical exercise is really good for you, and now all of us do it, and if we don't, we feel guilty about it. And that's where I think we're headed with mindfulness and meditation. It's going to join the pantheon of no-brainers like brushing your teeth, eating well, and taking the meds your doctor prescribed for you. Let me just close by saying, mindfulness is not going to solve all of your problems. It's not going to render your life a nonstop parade of unicorns and rainbows. Nonetheless, this is immediately.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was.
This is a superpower, and one that is accessible by you immediately.
Awesome. So sorry about that. Okay. So, what do you think the narrator means when he says mindfulness is a superpower? I'll give you a second to fill that out in the chat box.
Lynn said it's powerful.
Absolutely. Lynn, why do you think it's powerful?
Heather said it gives you the ability to calm down and think about things.
Absolutely. I think it's especially important right now in the busyness of our lives, especially with living in a pandemic, for sure.
Lynn also said it provides insight, and Stephanie said it's a new view of the world.
I love it. Absolutely. I think when we live in a mindful way, it is a new view of the world. It totally is. To me, I also think it's responding wisely to what happens to us. So rather than just reacting, we're able to pause, and then we get to choose how we act based off of the situation. So it's exactly what you guys said. It's a way of taking a minute, reflecting on the now, and then reacting based off of, the situation, not just letting the situation cause a reaction within you. So it absolutely is a superpower, and it is powerful. So we want to talk a little bit about what types of mind we're already participating in. So just throw them out in the chat box. Whether you guys have participated already in some Mindful Monday activities. Mindful breathing is one of those. So just throw those out into the chat box. I love to see what you guys are doing to take a mindful moment.
Looks like we have yoga, walking, listening to music, breathing. Heather likes to paint.
I
Lynn,
love it.
I know Lynn reflects. Jodine loves walking and bird watching.
Oh, awesome. You guys are doing a great job. That's wonderful. Exactly. Just taking a moment to be still and focus on the present and live in the now. So, mindful breathing, like I mentioned, this focuses on your breath. And when we can focus on our breath, it just allows us to be present, which is what we are trying to achieve. A loving kindness meditation. Oh, what was that? Were you going to say something, Sadie?
Yeah, Audra asked a really great question. She wants to know what you recommend when you always have kids or coworkers around you.
That is a great question. In fact, Audrey, we're going to be doing this next slide. Excuse me, we're going to be doing a mindfulness meditation you can do anywhere, anytime. Um, and another great idea with that, Audrey, is just to invite them to practice a mindful moment with you, because I think you'll find that everyone needs more mindfulness in their life. It's not something that you don't need. So invite them to participate in something like this. It's great for kids, and in fact, it it will just allow them to develop these skills earlier on in life, which is great. So that's an awesome question. Um, so a loving kindness meditation, this is focusing on your feelings, your heart, and how you can, give more love to others. Body scan, this is a great way to focus on the different areas of your body, release tension, and feel what your body is feeling at that present moment. Yoga, like that was mentioned, yoga is a great way for not only strength training, but for breathing and for being present. Mindful stretching, this is similar to yoga, but it's more based off of getting the deep stretch. Mindful eating, for those of you who participated in this week's Mindful Monday, we did actually, it's next week's Mindful Monday. Sorry about that. It's mindful eating and positive body image. So you guys can enjoy that. That will be awesome. And then Tai Chi. Tai Chi is similar to yoga in the fact that it is releasing those toxins throughout our body with a series of movements. Guided visualization. This is awesome. This transforms you to a different location. So based off of the guided able to basically go somewhere new, whether it's the beach, whether it's the mountains, whether it's a calm garden in the backyard. It's training your mind to take you somewhere else, which is really cool. And then just a quick question for you. For those of you who do participate in mindfulness activities, how do you feel like these activities help you with your overall health and wellness?
They're calming.
Absolutely.
Jodine says she handles stress better.
Awesome. Jodine, that's great. Absolutely. Feeling more calm and being able to handle stress, that's amazing that mindfulness really is a superpower when it can do those things. Absolutely. That's awesome. Thank you for your comments, you guys.
We had another participant write, finding peace in a chaotic time.
Which we all need that right now. But even personally, right, when we can take a moment to just be mindful and focus on the present, live in the now, you typically do feel better. And it's not so um, cloudy anymore. You can often see a little bit more sunshine in that moment of your life. So thanks for sharing that. So Audrey, this is kind of going to go back to the question that you asked in terms of co-work. How can we practice mindfulness when maybe our environment is a little bit crazy? You don't always have to have the lights off. Um, you don't always have to be, uh, you know, hands in a mindful position with your legs crossed. You can definitely practice mindfulness anywhere you go. And um, one of my coworkers, she called this a mindful minute, which I think is so cute because it really is. It can just take a minute. You don't have to do a practice for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. It can be very quick. It can be in the car or it can be at your desk, and you can invite others to join you, which is probably not a bad idea because it can often boost other people's spirits as well. So, let's go ahead and get started. So with this practice, we're going to activate our five senses. And so before we activate them, I want you to, wherever you are right now, I want you to sit up tall. I want your feet to lay flat on the floor. And I just want you to start to breathe. Focus on your breath here. You breathe in and then you breathe out. Let's do it again. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Can you already feel your body starting to feel more relaxed and a little bit more rejuvenated when we fill up our lungs completely with air and then we compress them? So let's do that one more time. Breathe in, breathe out. Awesome. So first we're gonna focus on something that we can see. So is it your kids playing? Is it your workspace? Maybe it's your computer, maybe it is your coworkers. Um, maybe you're looking out the window. Just focus on what you're seeing right now. Observe it, take it in. What's something you can feel? What's something you can touch? Is it your is it your fabric on your clothes? Touching your body? Is it your keyboard? Is it the pillow on your couch? Or maybe it's your desk. Feel the grain in the wood. Maybe it's the floor on your feet. Just feel what you're touching and notice it. What's something you can hear? Maybe it's the birds outside or a car rushing past in your neighborhood. Maybe it's the air conditioning in your home. Is it your computer monitor or the neighbor's lawnmower? What are you hearing? What can you smell? Is it your favorite candle that's burning? Maybe it's lunch that just was cooking. What are you smelling? Maybe it's a load of laundry, whether it's clean or dirty. Maybe you're smelling something. And maybe you're not smelling anything. And that's okay. What's something you can taste? Is it the cup of coffee that you've been sipping on all day? Maybe you have that aftertaste in your mouth. Maybe it's a piece of gum, or maybe you've got some raisins next to your desk that you remember eating. Just notice what you can taste. Maybe you're noticing that there's lingering flavors or that there's a freshness of breath. Maybe you're realizing, oh, I need to put a piece of gum in, or I need to go brush my teeth. Just sit here for a moment with all of your senses alert and active. Remember, you can be mindful at any moment, and you can do this practice at any time. It can be much faster than this practice, or it can be much slower. Some of you said you liked to go on walks, or bird watch, or paint. You can do these along with those activities, and you can make it a mindful walk. I also received an email from a county employee that mentioned that they like to do mindful walks where they try and see every shade of green. So they'll walk and they'll just pick up every different shade of green, and they'll try and count how many different shades they see on their walk. You could do that with just any color in general, right? You could count all the different colors that you see on your walk. So there's different ways that we can be mindful, and you don't have to sit down and have this very structured practice. It can be very organic and very raw. It doesn't need to take a lot of time. It can be very fast. So hopefully you enjoyed that, to just quickly activate your senses and for you to learn that it's very easy and you can do it anywhere. So, benefits of mindfulness. So, it improves your well-being. So, it increases your capacity for mindfulness. And when we increase our capacity for mindfulness, it supports so many different attitudes that contribute to an overall satisfied life. So being mindful makes it easier for us to savor the pleasures in life as they occur. Whether it's good or bad, right? We can take a moment to just be still and observe what's happening around us. It helps us become much more fully engaged, whether it's within our relationships, in our activities, in our work. We have much more ability to thrive when we're mindful. And it creates a greater capacity for us to deal with adverse events. So, similar to what I mentioned before, when we are focused on the present, we can see that this adverse event can be for our good. It's just the way that we react to the situation. It also, when we focus on the here and now, many people who practice mindfulness find they're less likely to get caught up in the worries about the future or regrets of the past. Mindful practicing helps us become less preoccupied with concerns about success and self-esteem. And those who practice mindfulness are better able to form deep connections with others. And that's something that that's something that I want in my life, is deep connections with people that I love around me. It improves my physical health. Sorry, not mine, yours, all of ours when we practice mindfulness. So if a greater well-being isn't enough incentive to practice mindfulness, in Scientists have discovered that mindfulness techniques can improve your physical health in a number of ways. So, mindfulness can actually help relieve stress, like was mentioned. So, I'm happy that you've experienced that firsthand. It can treat heart disease along with um, medications and other treatment with your medical care provider. It actually lowers your blood pressure, it reduces your chronic pain levels, and it improves your sleep. And it actually can alleviate a lot of gastrointestinal difficulties. So that's really great. Mindfulness practice improves our physical health, and then it improves our mental health. I mean, we all can say that taking a moment for ourselves and being present can definitely improve our mental health. But in recent years, psychotherapists have turned to mindfulness meditation as an important element of treating a lot of mental health issues. So these issues include depression, substance abuse, eating disorders, couples conflicts, anxiety disorders, and it can help obsessive compulsive disorders. So there are lots of benefits to practicing mindfulness. It can also aid in the aging process. When we, you know, don't worry as much, we're able to live a longer and happier life. So I have a question for you guys. What are some of the benefits that you have experienced from mindfulness that I haven't listed?
While we're waiting for their answers, for me personally, it's really helped improve my quality of sleep.
For sure. I agree with you, Sadie.
Megan said more gratitude.
I love that, Megan. It's true. Taking a
Amy
time.
said, oh, sorry. Amy said more productive.
Oh, I like it. That's awesome, Amy. You go get it, girl.
Audra said, I need all the benefits of mindfulness.
Me too. That's why we practice it, right? It's not this like end all be all. It's we practice every day and we get a little bit better so that our overall health and wellness can improve. Thank you so much for participating in that question. I appreciate it. All right. So, if we know mindfulness is good for us, why do we not practice? So, what are some barriers that keep you from practicing mindfulness? Is it scary for you to be alone with your thoughts? Do you just feel kind of silly? Do you not have time? Are you easily distracted? What is it that's keeping you from being mindful?
Yeah, we have time and so many distractions, is what has been shared. Audra said, no kidding, people are always talking to me, even when she's on the toilet.
Oh, bless your heart. Yeah, it's a lot. Distractions are huge. So if you notice that you're distracted, then just, try and do it when you're not distracted, when you can set time for, or make time for that, whether it's right before bed or if it's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, or maybe it's that one moment of free time you have when you're in the car, right, where you can activate those five senses. So there's definitely distractions that we face for sure. Um, when we talked about this as a team, we talked about social media as a distraction. So some of these distractions that we have, we honestly don't have any control over, whether it's kids or coworkers or, neighbors knocking at our door or dinner that we have to cook or whatever. Some of these distractions we have no control over, but some of them we do. And social media is one of those distractions. So if you're active on social media, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, but it's important that we do take time to be mindful. So if you're like me, and you want to better your overall health and wellness, I follow a few accounts on social media that are all about mindfulness. And I was talking to another coworker, and she was saying that when she scrolls through her feed, sometimes it will say, take a moment, take 5 minutes to list everything that you're grateful for, or a mindfulness activity like that. And that she'll say, oh, that's such a good idea. I should go back and I should do that when I have a minute. But it's like you have you're looking at it right now. Take a minute and do it. She's like, next time I see that, I'm just gonna do it right then and there so that I don't get distracted. We often do. So just keep that in mind. Some distractions are absolutely out of our control, but some of them we do have control over. So take time to be mindful. Absolutely. I love it.
And a tip that I could add is I know on my phone that I can set a media curfew for the night so I don't check my phone after a certain time, or if you've met a certain amount of minutes or hours that you want to have of you looking at your phone. Once you've met that criteria, your phone doesn't allow you to either look at that particular app or search the internet. So that can be a way to help you see how often you are actually using your phones and becoming distracted.
Absolutely. That's a good point, Sadie. Another thing to piggyback off of that, and I'm sure some of you have already thought this, or some of you already do this, but just like we set reminders on our phones to like get up and walk around our house, or if you have any wearable technology, mine always tells me to get up and move my bottom so that I've been sitting too long or whatever. So we have these pieces of technology that encourage us to get up and move, but we also should take time to be mindful. So if you have a timer set on your phone to get up and move, also during that time, take some time to be mindful. Recognize your surroundings, or maybe list a few things that you're grateful for, or write them down. Um, there's definitely ways that we can practice mindfulness um, that can tackle these distractions or these barriers that we face. Thank you for participating. That was awesome. So we're going to talk about some mindfulness tips to kind of help us with the flow here. So the first one is go with the flow. In mindfulness meditation, once you establish your concentration and you observe the flow of your inner thoughts and emotions and bodily sensations, sometimes your mind will wander. And we'll do a practice at the end of this presentation where your your mind may wander, and that is okay. Just go with the flow. But when you recognize that it does, kind of bring it back. And um, what's going to help you be mindful in the present moment. So biggest thing with this is when you're observing the inner flow of your thoughts, your feelings, your bodily sensations, it's important to accept them without judging them, whether it's good feelings or bad feelings. Just don't judge yourself. It's no good is ever going to come out of that. Pay attention. So you also notice external sensations such as sounds, sights, touch, maybe it's light, um, that make up your moment to moment experience while you're being mindful. The challenge is not to latch on to any of these sensations or get caught up in thinking about the past and the future. Instead, you watch what comes out and comes in and out of your mind. So when you're paying attention to the present moment, you're able to live in the present moment. And you will end up finding that your mental habits produce a feeling of well-being and discovery and acceptance within your heart, which is a goal of mindfulness. And stay with it. At times, mindfulness seems unbearable. You are in a body scan meditation and you forgot which hand you were doing, whether it was your right hand or your left hand. But that's okay. Like sometimes it doesn't seem relaxing at all. But the important thing is to stick with it, try it again, and overall it will improve over time as you continue with it, as you stay with it. It will provoke feelings of greater happiness, and it will give you the key to unlock self-awareness and self-acceptance, and you'll become more comfortable with yourself, and you'll be able to accept the experiences that you're having in your life. And this follows into practicing acceptance. So accepting yourself, accepting your situation, accepting your surrounding environment. That's a part of mindfulness. And when we can accept our surrounding environment with open arms, we're able to feel that happiness and joy that comes from mindfulness practice. And then we can experience that throughout our daily living. Um, it may be difficult to do this, whether maybe you're having a hard time with your current, living situation or your job, or maybe there's a relationship in your life that you're having a difficult time with, but accepting it for what it is, you're able to grow and see it from a different perspective. And maybe that will shed some light on the way that you're feeling. So practice it. This isn't something that happens immediately, it's something that comes with practice. You'll feel better about yourself, and it becomes easier to accept whatever comes your way the rest of the day. And gently redirect. So, this is what I was kind of saying at the very beginning, but if your mind wanders into planning, daydreaming, maybe you're checking off things on your to do list, maybe you're being mean to yourself, maybe you're criticizing yourself or someone else, notice where your mind has gone and gently redirect it to the sensations of the present moment. So don't judge yourself or others for maybe thinking of something else during the mindfulness practice. Just gently redirect it. Say, oh, that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm actually practicing mindfulness. And then try and try again. So if you missed your intended meditation session, that's okay. Just start again. And it's like we said, mindfulness doesn't have to be structured all the time. Sometimes that is definitely beneficial if you really want to reconnect with yourself. But other times it's simply just taking a mindful minute in the shower or right before you go to bed or when you're preparing lunch. It can be at any time of day. So keep that in mind. Okay, so this is for the fun part. Let me see what time we're at. Okay, yeah, we can do the long one. Do you guys have any questions for me right now? Any comments that you'd like to mention? Yes, no? Good to keep going? Okay. So I want you guys to just get comfortable. Take a few moments to be still and congratulate yourself for taking this time for a meditation practice. Do a mindful check-in. Feel into your body and your mind. Simply allow any waves of thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations to just be. Perhaps it's been a very busy day, and this is the first time you're stopping. As you enter the world of being rather than doing, you may notice the trajectory of the feelings you've been carrying within you. There's no need to judge, analyze, or figure things out. Just allow yourself to be in the moment with all that's there. When you feel ready, gently shift your focus on your breath. Become aware of your breathing. Just breathe normally and naturally. Focus on the tip of your nose or your abdomen. Breathing in and knowing you're breathing in, and breathing out and knowing you're breathing out. At times, the mind may wander away from awareness of your breath. When you recognize this, acknowledge wherever you went and come back to the breath. Breathing in and out with awareness. Now gently withdraw awareness from your mindful breathing as you shift to the body scan. As you go through the body, you may come across areas that are tight or tense. If you can allow these areas to soften, let that happen. If you can't, just let the sensations be, letting them ripple in whatever direction they need to go. This applies not only to physical sensations, but also to any emotions or thoughts you may experience. As you go through the body scan, be mindful of any physical or emotional thoughts that may arise. Bring awareness to the bottom of the left foot, where you feel the contact of your foot on the floor. It could be the back of the heel or the bottom of the left foot. Sense into what is being felt, feeling the heel, ball, and sole of the left foot. Feel into your toes and the top of feel into your toes and the top of the left foot, and back into the Achilles tendon. Move up into the left ankle. Now focus your awareness on the lower left leg, feeling into the calf and shin and their connection to the left knee. Remember to be present. Now let your awareness rise up to the thigh, sensing into the upper leg and its connection above the left hip. Now withdraw from the left hip down to the left foot, shifting it into the right foot. Bring awareness to where you feel the contact of your right foot on the floor. It could be the back of the heel or the bottom of the right foot. Sensing into what is being felt. Feeling the heel, ball, and sole of the right foot. Feel into your toes and the top of the right foot. Move your awareness to the Achilles tendon and up into the right ankle. Now focus your awareness up to the lower right leg, feeling into the calf and shin and their connection to the right knee. Remember to be present. Let awareness now rise up into the thigh, sensing into the upper leg and its connection above the hip. Gently withdraw your attention from your right hip and move into your pelvic region. Now lift the awareness to the abdomen and into your belly, the home of digestion. Feel into your guts with awareness and let be. Now withdraw your awareness from the belly and move to the tailbone. Begin to sense into the lower, middle, and upper parts of your back, feeling any sensations. Allow any tightness to soften and let be what's not softening. Let your awareness now shift into your chest, into your heart and your lungs. Remember to be present. Feel into your rib cage and your sternum, and then into your breasts. Gently withdraw the attention from your chest and shift your awareness into your fingertips of your left hand. Feeling into your fingers and palm, and then the back of the hand. Move into your left wrist. Proceed up into the forearm, elbow, and upper left arm. Remember to feel these sensations. Now shift awareness to the fingertips of the right hand. Feeling into the fingers and palm, and the back of the hand, and up into the right wrist. Proceed up into the forearm, elbow, and upper right arm, feeling sensations. Let the awareness move into both of your shoulders and your armpits, then up into your neck and your throat. Remember, be present to any sensations, thoughts, or emotions. Now bring your awareness into your jaw and gently into the teeth, tongue, mouth, and lips, allowing any resonating sensations to go where they need to go and just letting them be. Feel into your cheeks, the sinus passages that go deep into your head, your eyes, and the muscles around your eyes. Feel into your forehead and the temples. Be present. Now expand your field of awareness to the entire body, from your head to your toe to your fingertips. Connect from the head through the neck to the shoulders, arms, hands, chest, back, your belly, hips, your pelvis region, legs, and your feet. Feel your body as a whole organism with its various physical sensations, thoughts, and emotions. Remember to be present. Breathing in. Feel the whole body rising and expanding on each inhale and falling and contracting on each exhale. Feel your body as a whole organism. Be present. As you come to the end of this body scan, congratulate yourself for taking this time to be present. May you know this is an act of love. I think when we practice mindfulness, it's important that we congratulate ourselves, especially at the end, whether it's a minute or 15 minutes or 30 minutes. When we're able to congratulate ourselves and recognize that this is an act of love, we're able to feel proud of the time that we took to be mindful. So, I also want to talk to you guys about Mindful Mondays. This is kind of our plug here, but they're sent every Monday in our weekly lineup that Healthy Lifestyles sends. So, this month we just started doing the weekly lineups, and I hope you love them because they're full of great information throughout the week. But I used to only send them out at 3 p.m. every day, so you would get them at the end of your workday. But now you're getting them in the morning, so you can do them at any time. It's a link to our YouTube channel, and you can enjoy my voice every Monday or any other day you want to do it. And that was a joke. Um, do at your own time. Like I mentioned, you can do them at your own time. And they're always 15 minutes or less. So very, very short. Um, you can do them on a break or whatever. But Mindful Mondays is really just to create more balance in your life and for you to feel comfortable with yourself and living in the present and focusing on the now. So it's going to help you develop that superpower that we talked about today. Just along the side of my screen, you'll be able to see all the different activities that we do within Mindful Mondays. And if you'd like to see more, please, please, please let me know. I also, while I have my screen shared, I want to show you something that's really awesome. So this is mindful.org. And for those of you who are really, wanting to become more mindful, this is a great resource to start with. So mindful.org helps you develop a healthy mind and a healthy life. So you can get started. It talks about how to meditate, mindfulness for kids, mindfulness for pain, how to meditate with anxiety. So these are great resources. And it provides you with daily practices, mini courses, online courses. It gives you mindful guided meditations, which is awesome. So it gives you all sorts of different articles. There's newsletters, um, really great resources here. So I myself have accessed mindful.org multiple times just because I feel like it's really great in terms of helping me become more mindful, but also just to be more aware of my current um, situation. So it helps you, yeah, there's all sorts of different things. So definitely reach out to this if you're interested in their newsletter. You could sign up for something like that. But this is great because it offers a lot for not only individuals, but also for families. So that's really cool. And then that is all I have for you. So thank you for joining in. I really appreciate the time that you took out of your day to focus on being a little bit more mindful. Do you guys have any questions for me?
And while we're waiting for questions, Jayne, I have linked our YouTube channel in the chat box that has all of Jayne's recordings of mindful activities. And then I've also linked the sign-in sheet today. So in order to get your 10 points, you must sign in.
Thank you, Sadie. That's awesome.
I'm not seeing questions coming in, Jayne, but I'm seeing a lot of positive feedback that people really appreciated the presentation. And
Thank
they
you.
love, yeah, they love when you send out the coloring pages too.
Oh, good. I'll send more out.
Yeah, lots of thank yous, but no questions. Jayne and I could stay on the call too if you have any. last minute questions.
For sure, for sure. I'm gonna actually stop sharing my screen now. If I can figure that out. Oh, duh, right here. Got it. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, thank you. If there's no last minute questions, we'll see you at the next workshop.
See you later.